Hey, what's shaking, everybody? Luke Dancy here, back with more magic talk for you. This is the real talk. This is giving you all the details on Venture today from Danny Weiser. And to do that, I've got to talk to the man himself. That's right, Danny Weiser joining me right now from the East Coast. There he is, Danny Weiser, appearing like magic. What's up, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, Luke? Thanks
I
for
am
having me on.
doing okay, all things considered. We're getting closer to the world being back to normal in one way or another,
Yeah,
but
quote
getting there.
unquote.
Yeah, but you know what stays the same is more Danny Weiser magic popping out, hitting magic shops, and we're going to talk today about this. So let's just jump on into it, man. For those that don't know what this is, what is the latest Danny Weiser trick venture? What is it?
So, I have an obsession with luggage tags. I'm just kidding. I happen to really like the luggage tag concept itself. And as you know, I brought out Manifest, a confabulation effect, where you have people in the audience call out different, say, a location, a flight number, anything, pretty much anything can be called out, and all that appears on inside of the luggage tag. Now, here we've developed a card to luggage tag. So it could be a selected signed playing card from a spectator that ends up inside of a luggage tag that's been in view the entire time. Or, and we offer this as well on the tutorial, a virtual any card to wallet. So it could be any thought of card to this luggage tag wallet, and it could be placed, right in front of you. It could be hanging right in front of the camera on the screen, and it could be any card thought of. We teach a really cool method to do that.
All right, all right. So we got signed card to luggage tag, or as Danny pointed out, a thought of card, freely named card that ends up inside the luggage tag. The one thing I'd like to ask you first is I want to clarify something from the trailer that really threw me off. If we take a look here together real quick, you'll see that in the beginning, he opens up the tag, shows the card in there, and then it closes and he takes it out. Is this the same card or is it not? Because that threw me off. I'm like, that has to be, but for those watching, I want to make sure they know, is that the same card that you're showing?
Great question, and I'm so happy that we could clarify this. It is the same card that's seen. In fact, if you'd wanted to leave it open, like stick your thumb in and kind of see, you can show that you're pulling the card out. That's doable as well.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it's the same card that you see.
Okay, cool. Because I know that's going to be a question if it's not already popping out there on the forums. I mean, you know how it goes, the same old. But it is the card. You can leave it open and pull it out. Okay, good to know. All
Mhm.
right. The other really nice thing about this is the virtual show. Why don't you talk about this? You know, this is great because this could be behind you, could be on a stand. They name a card and it ends up inside of the wallet. This obviously takes advantage of the medium with virtual show. Is that taught as well? What all do you kind of teach here with the virtual angle for the venture concept here?
So virtual shows, and I strongly believe that they're going to be here for a while. Even though there are going to be live shows coming back, there's
Mhm.
still going to be a handful of, well, I would say majority of the population that's going to want to continue doing something like this out of comfort. So I wanted to incorporate a routine where you can actually do an any thought of card to this wallet, because obviously you can't have a spectator sign a card over Skype or over Zoom.
Mhm.
So I thought it would be neat to be able to offer this. Now, the performer that you see in the video actually developed a system that any card can be used. I had originally come up with a way for only certain cards can be used, but he has a way, and we teach that on the tutorial of how the entire deck can be utilized um, as your playing field, so that the spectator could think of or say any playing card. They can even change their mind if they want to,
Cool.
as many times before you do the reveal.
All right. So I know there's two different ways to do this. You could do it live, obviously, which, you know, you're a performer, I'm a performer. That's where you do stuff, right? Okay, so we know virtual, there's a little more leniency because you're in control of the situation, but in a live situation, for each one, though, how hard is this to do? Like from a virtual standpoint and a live standpoint, how hard is venture to pull off? Maybe it's a different answer for both. That's why I'm asking.
Sure. Awesome question. And we get to this question every time we talk
Yep.
because, um, for one, it's a great question, and two, I mean, we get people from all over. You know, people who are just starting in Magic to people who are world-renowned professionals. Manifest has been seen on Ellen. Um, the this this effect or these routines are relatively easy to do. I, for one, am not a knacky performer. I don't do a whole lot of sleights. I'm a gimmicks guy. The reason I create gimmicks is for the ease of its use. So I want it to look magical, even if I'm not, bending my finger
Hmm.
backwards. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's very easy to do. If you can hold a deck of cards, you can use this gimmick.
Very good. All right. And what about the reset? We know it's easy to do, simple to do. As always, live performance is starting to come back, which means people start doing walk around close up magic in different situations. If someone does this and they want to do it for another group, just down the way, how long would it take them to get from point A to point B and have it reset?
Seconds, man. Seconds.
It's
All
true.
right.
With this, it's a unique thing though, because I could see me doing this where if I've got my backpack on, I walk around with the backpack, just clip it on the backpack. And that's probably the longest reset is to take the thing and just clip it back on the backpack to do it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a method standpoint, super easy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so easy.
Yeah.
And I just want to comment on the color of
Okay.
this wallet, because a lot of people had asked about Manifest.
Right.
Oh, why did you do it in brown or why did you do it in black? Because this effect was designed for a more of street performance use.
Right.
Like I wanted that to be its like main spectrum of performance,
Yep.
even though it can be done on stage if you wanted it to. I wanted it to be non-assuming. So versus Manifest, which it's bright yellow, it looks nice on a big stage. Like it's meant for eyes to be attracted to. This one, I kind of wanted to leave it as neutral as possible, and also magicians, so they won't complain too much when when this trick comes out that they finally have a black luggage tag
Right on.
of a more neutral color.
And it is worth noting that the manifest was on the Ellen show. I believe it was Keith Barry that ended up performing this, and it
It
does
was on the
stand out.
Ellen Show, and Justin Willman performs it in his live virtual show.
So there you go. All right.
Yep, yeah.
So I wonder how long it'll be before someone's performing this on TV or a virtual show. Just saying.
Wait and see.
um, but it's true about Manifest being a brighter color. It does pop for those situations. This definitely more of a everyday kind of thing. So yeah, it looks the part. It looks more of what you would expect. Um, could you actually use this as a luggage tag? That is the dumbest question I'm going to ask you today. But if you were going to go on a trip and you're out of luggage tags, could you use it as a luggage tag?
I would say it'd be pretty ballsy, especially for what you're paying for it. I wouldn't want you to lose anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say no, just to
Ah.
play it safe and to cover my basis. But
Yeah. All right.
I'm sure you can work out a way to use it as as a very expensive luggage tag.
There you go. So don't. So guys, the lesson learned here is don't book any shows at an airport. Don't book any airport shows. Get to the airport and then go to your show. All right.
Hey, unless it's for Southwest. I hear Southwest is super cool. Like, the company's super cool.
Yeah.
You'd probably have a good time performing for them.
Yeah. So we talked about the reset difficulty and all that. What about angles on this? Sometimes people get a little nervous with card to wallets. They get worried about the performing situation and stuff like that. Would you say it's kind of the same angle wise? If you're used to doing something like that, this is kind of the same deal going on here.
Yeah, there have been a few wallets on the market that have, similar systems.
Hmm.
I would say, very similar to any card to wallet load. Not any card. Without getting too deep into the method,
Hmm.
I would say that out of 100% of the card to wallets on the market, 50% use a very similar, loading. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to say.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And it does. And again, I'm looking at the ad copy myself on the website. The key point again, because I know that there was another clip that showed him opening the luggage tag and then closing it. I think it's in this clip here. The card can you can leave the thing open when you take the card out. And I'm going to skip ahead to this moment because I really want to highlight the fact that while he's doing this, you can see that it's in there. You do not have to just flash it and open it and then close it to take the card out. I really want to highlight that because that's something that I feel like is being missed in the trailer. I don't blame you for that, but it is something I want to make sure people are not missing because it's such a big point on the ad copy I'm looking at here. Don't want to miss that.
So I will tell you, there are there are two ways to do it. You can either have it open and pull the card out,
Yep.
and you can show that it's still open, or you can show the card, close it just like how he's doing it, and pull it out.
Okay.
So there are two ways of opening it and
Okay.
getting the card out. Um,
Okay.
so that can be done both ways if
Cool.
you so.
Cool. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but I think that's one of the biggest points that I wanted to make with this chat, which is why I'm glad that we're able to do this. Is that people know that it
Sure.
really is coming from inside of the luggage tag as well. That's the other kind of
Yeah.
highlight. Uh,
Yes. Dead horse has been beaten. Look, you could see he's pulling it
ah,
out. Pulling it out.
of course, I cut out right when you say that. God. Shame on me. Shame on me.
Shame on you. No, but, yeah, it's coming from the inside of the wallet.
Yeah,
So, you can even hold it at a certain angle to show that it's coming that the lips of the wallet have separated and the card can be slid out.
perfect. All right. Um, with this coming out after Manifest, I'm really curious here. Which one came first, the chicken or the egg? Because obviously they're both using luggage tags, and this is also a good time to point out and highlight Manifest as well, which is a great confabulation routine with a luggage tag here. The reveal makes total sense with the trip. But which one did come first? Was it Manifest or was it Venture?
It's funny because I originally wanted to do something to a luggage tag,
Okay,
something.
okay,
As I got to play with the manifest gimmick more, that's what came first, the confabulation. And then as I was, playing with manifest, and I think I'd even spoken with you back when
yeah,
manifest came out,
yeah,
um, that we were looking into doing a card to luggage tag.
yeah.
So we had to alter the gimmick in a way for it to accommodate a card and accommodate the gimmick of the card to the luggage tag.
Yep. And
So yes, it was manifest first.
cool. Uh, and the name Venture, I'm assuming, has to do with adventure. You just cut off the first part of ad and just went
Yeah, it got to
venture.
be a little edgy. It's got to be edgy, and I think venture is like a short version of adventure. Like, oh, I'm gonna be a little lazy today and just say venture.
Oh man, that's funny. Uh,
Right.
let's see. I'm looking at some of the other things. A couple highlights that I want people to understand. Yes, virtual shows. We keep talking about that as a highlight. Walk around situations. Also, trade show environment. Don't forget when people start doing those again. Everyone's got their bags around. It looks right to be done in those situations. Even on stand up parlor shows. This is a card trick, but you can make it play bigger because of the prop that you are using with the luggage tag. You could use it as part of a bigger routine, maybe with travel, this whole travel theme. Because let's be honest, man, once things get back to where live shows are a thing, um, the presentations are kind of opening up to a lot of different things now. Like, what are people going to be talking about doing and what do they want to do? They want to travel. So it makes sense, to use something like a luggage tag. So,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's perfect timing. And I personally, when I create magic, I like to have either a comedic story to tell along with it, or I would like to um, at least have a routine that's based around us, like a story or something inspirational.
Mhm.
Those things usually sit best with people. I don't like the walking up to a random person on the street and be like, "Hey, you want to see a trick?" And like you stick a pen through a quarter. Like there's no story behind it. If you had a story to tell and a purpose for it, then it would make sense in its use. So I want my magic to be viewed as story told magic, and you can tell
Yeah.
a good story to elevate the magic itself,
Nice. And there's another
like
look at
very
it.
Copperfield-esque.
Yes, yes, that is the word right there, Copperfield-esque. I like that. Yeah. Magic that has
Indeed,
meaning, you know, not just a
story
trick.
mastermind. His stories, like in his show, and other performers who also tell stories in their shows to kind of,
Yeah.
explain their magic and explain a routine is
Yeah.
powerful, especially when people can relate to it. And when people can relate to travel all the time, especially now.
Yeah. This is also a good reminder, I think, for people that want to be creative with their magic. That sometimes you may have something and it's good, but that doesn't mean you have to stop. You know, you may have a trick that you think is done, and then you play with it some more and you go, well, damn, I could do this with it too. Like, it's not often that you see tricks that actually are close to each other, but they're different, but they're also in the same like world of creativity, but they do two different things, you know, and that's kind of cool from a creative standpoint.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I have to highlight 2 people that really stand out to me that do something very similar or has done something very similar in terms of taking a plot and really, like, gnawing at it.
Mhm.
Let's say 3 people. First person, Paul Harris. That guy, and I talk to him almost all the time.
It's great.
I have a few projects in the works with him, so that's why we talk. But um, we always talk about making something better and what we can do to obviously what we feel something is really solid and it's put to market and we do well with it. And then we're like, you know what, we could have done this with that. Sometimes when I'm not thinking about something, a novel idea comes, and then I'm like, damn, I should have put that in there, or how can I change this so I can make this even better. Another person would be Richard Sanders. Richard Sanders is the king of this kind of
Love
stuff.
that guy.
All of his releases throughout all of his years. I mean, he's done renditions of different things that he's
Yeah.
put out, and killer in all of them. And he's added different twists to all of them. You know, so he's really harped on it. And last but not least, man, you know who I'm talking about? Marcus Eddy.
Oh, Marcus is great. Yeah, man. Good call.
He's
Good call,
on
man.
one plot. He loves the deck appearance plot,
Just a
and
little
he
bit.
a little bit. And no, he's
Funny.
he's a good guy. He's a friend of mine. And not to boast or no names, but he's a good guy. He
Dropping those
he
names.
he's been working on that plot for forever. So the guy knows the ins and outs of every method that he's worked on for it, and he's got proof. He's put out multiple releases of that plot. Um, so he's given, and I really like that. I really like that in these people that I mentioned, that they're always thinking about it. They obsess with one idea, and they want to,
Yeah.
like, there's just anything can be made better.
Yeah.
That's how innovation works. you
Yep.
know
Yep.
you don't see Tesla stopping at one car. Their innovation is transpiring. The
Yeah.
cars are going to be driving themselves. Dude, cars are going to be leaving your house while you sleep, picking up other people and driving them to their locations, only to come back to your house for you in the morning to go to work. How insane is that? Like, that's going to happen soon.
It's coming. It's all
Yep.
coming, dude. So
Innovation.
yeah. So what's next? The torn and restored luggage tag? Is that what's next from Danny Weiser?
Hold that thought. I got to write that down.
Just kidding.
I have some really cool stuff in the pipeline, as we've discussed.
Yep. Yep.
Have something coming, actually pretty soon. Um, I'll just say it's an opener and a closer.
Okay. All right then.
So that's really cool. I'm super excited about that. But I have a lot of stuff planned. Obviously, this year has taken kind of a caused everything to sit in the back seat for a little bit, but
Yeah.
hopefully things will start picking up soon.
So here's a question for you, kind of off the radar a little bit, or off the record a little bit here from the product, because we are talking today about Venture, the
Mhm.
signed card to luggage tag, guys. You should pick this up today. Look how beautiful that is. Yes, yes.
So nice.
Um,
Real
but
leather. Real leather.
real leather. Okay, I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask. Um, one from one parent to another. Here's a question for you that I'm sure a lot of people would like to know the answer to this. And by the way, from all the Murphy's family and all of us out there, congrats to you on the birth of your second child. You got two now. Double
Thank
trouble.
you. Thank you.
um, how do you manage your time? Yes, when you're trying to sleep, when you have those few moments, how are you making the most of your time to create new magic? That's something a lot of people struggle with to begin with, let alone having two kids and a family to raise and a job and the whole thing. Like, what kind of highlight points would you give people that want to create magic but don't have a lot of time, but really would like to do what you do? Do you have any tips maybe for those people out there?
Sure. So I'm glad that you brought up that I have a job because I find that so on my real job, aside from being a magician and I do perform, I'm a prosthetist orthotist. So I make prosthetic and orthotic
That's cool.
devices for patients, which is pretty cool. And that in itself is creative and allows me to have a creative outlet.
Yep.
So that's neat. Um, but tips on having time. It's not really about having time because I don't actually sit down and create a trick. I don't say, all right, here's an hour. I need to create something. I'll the way that my mind works is I don't think about things and then they come to me. So if I have an idea for a plot, like I can be here's a plot and I'll let this run for whoever wants to run with it. But the other day, and it was really interesting, my son, my oldest, he was looking at through my phone and he found a picture of me when I was, his age.
Okay.
He's like, "But daddy, you look so different now." And I told him because I got older. My body's matured more. My face looks a lot different than I was when I was a kid. I have hair on my face now. So it got me thinking, how cool would it be if you could take a picture of someone at that moment in time and age them?
Huh.
The
Okay.
picture that's
Okay.
now that you've printed out, you can just wave it or something like that, and they become older or they become younger. That's really powerful. I think that that's really cool. So I right there, that gave me a plot idea. Sits in the back of my mind. I could be sleeping and wake up in the middle of the night with a dream that like, oh wow, now this is a great method or this will work. So I don't necessarily spend time or spend a set aside time to create something. I do it when I am not thinking, like when I'm in the shower or when I'm on the toilet. And I know a lot of people who do create magic create their best magic while on the toilet.
This is true. Hera Pinong was with me a few months back, and he said the exact same thing. You are definitely on a list of many that have, and I'm on there too. I
It's
definitely can see
weird.
it.
I think it's super weird. And super weird that we both share the similar
Yeah.
toilet concept, or most magicians
The
or
toilet
creators.
concept is that what we're calling it now?
But what I think is weird is that the best time to be creative is when you're not trying to be creative at all.
Hmm.
Like I'm not trying to think about magic, but an idea comes to me and be like, "Ah, that's actually really cool. Like, what can I do with that?" And then I come up with a method, and then I come up with, a way to manufacture it. Or I talk to somebody else and see, hey, what would be the best route to go?
Yeah.
So
Good
when it
tips.
comes to time, it's not really time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, so you got to make the most of the ones you have. And I guess what it really comes down to is find what works for you too, and just stick with it and run with it and do it to it. But it is impressive that as someone with a full plate in front of you, you still manage to find time to create magic and
I have to
yeah,
tell you the honest truth, it's my wife, 100%. Because if I didn't have her support, I wouldn't be able to do anything that I do. And she's so supportive of. I'm very grateful, and I'm sure you have a little lady yourself that is very
yep,
supportive of what you do. So I think having a good support system is extremely important when it comes to
yeah,
just career goals in general.
yeah. So everyone out there, I know it sounds tough, but you can find a lady that will tolerate your magic and geeking out. It's okay. You can find
A
it.
lady or a man, it
Oh,
doesn't
that's true.
matter.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
very true.
doesn't
Yes.
matter. But I think what it really comes down to is also the drive.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find the motivation to succeed, and you would wanna succeed. Sometimes people, especially now, by the way, we're going on a totally different tangent, but, especially nowadays, it's really hard for people to find the drive because not much is going on. People are working from home, or their shows have been canceled, and it's been a really
Yeah.
crappy year for a lot of people, and my heart goes out to them for sure.
Yeah.
But it's finding the drive, um, and riding along with it.
Right on. And if you are just joining us, by the way, we are taking a look here at Venture from Danny Weiser. Not Adventure, just Venture. Uh, the signed card to luggage tag, or if you like, you can do it virtually with a freely named card. There is no equivocate or equivoke. What is it, Danny? Is it equivoke or equivocate? Which one is it? Tomato, tomato.
I think magicians call it equivocate because it sounds more elegant,
True.
but I'm pretty sure it's equivoci.
Oh God, I was wrong. There's a third version
Yep.
of it out there. Oh God.
Yeah,
Okay.
equivoci, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on
But there is none of that here. There is none of that
no,
here. So
no, no.
so make sure to pick up your Venture signed card to luggage tag today from your favorite magic shop. You can get those all over the world. Look how good that looks on that backpack there. That could be you guys with this on your backpack or your close-up case. It looks good either way. Get it today. Thank you, Danny Weiser, for the time, for hanging out, answering questions, and just shooting the shit with me. Let's just put it
Shooting
bluntly.
the
Yeah,
shit.
just hanging out, man. Good times, my friend. And you guys out there, thanks for watching and hanging out with us. If you have any other questions, as I mentioned in Danny, drop them in the comments below. We're out there to help you guys out, and we will catch you all next time. See ya.